Jesus Christ. Does Stefano Domenicali get off on trying to add as many races to the Formula 1 calendar as he can or something? Honestly, for the well-being of the drivers, the mechanics, engineers, everyone in the teams, someone stop this man. There's been a lot of chatter recently about the Formula 1 calendar, so I wanted to mark this video recapping everything for those who've missed all the news and rumours about the calendar and giving my thoughts on it all. Let's start with talking about venues. Spa is sadly possibly once again at risk because it's the only track on the current calendar without a contract for 2024. Now, which venue could it be under threat from? Also, same as last time, South Africa, as it's been reported that South Africa is still in contention for a slot on the 2024 calendar. Now, if I had to choose between South Africa and Belgium, honestly, it's a difficult choice. On the one hand, Spa is a classic track and we all love it. It's a fan favourite circuit. But on the other hand, it'd be great to see South Africa come onto the calendar because it's currently Africa is the only continent that F1 is missing, excluding the poles. Obviously. Sadly for Spa or the likes of Monza or Silverstone or Monaco in the future, Domenicali has said that history is not enough to stay on the calendar. He said that to be arrogant and believe you have a granted future because you've had a race for 100 years is not enough. I will just preface though, I do not think Spa should drop off the calendar. It needs to stay. Come on. Yes, can the races be ever so slightly boring sometimes? Well, yeah, but there's also the chance for some brilliant races there, and also Carnage at La Source, which is a classic and is something I think we're a little bit overdue. And I wouldn't want to see the likes of Monaco or Monza drop off the calendar either, or Silverstone. Silverstone we know can provide brilliant races. Monza's a little bit like Spa, and that yes, it can be a bit boring, but we tend to give it a free pass. And it has its moments of brilliant races and unexpected results. Look no further than freaking 2020 with Gasly, 2021 with Ricciardo. And then Monaco, look, there's no qualifying like Monaco. Is the race a possession? Yes. Is the race boring? Yes. But do I think it should fall off the calendar? No. But we're not talking about Monaco here, that's got a contract. Now moving on and staying in the region of Europe, it's been reported that the Hockenheim organisers want to return to F1 and have said they're doing everything they can to make a comeback, but they stand by their opinion that an F1 race shouldn't financially ruin them. And you can understand their point, and I agree with them. Hosting an F1 race should not financially ruin a circuit. But honestly, bring back the Hockenheim ring, please. I really love that track, and it is just a bit strange not having an F1 race in Germany. With Audi, a German manufacturer, coming in come 2026, you can understand Germany wanting to make a comeback in Formula 1. And I mean, come on, it's a track that's seen its fair share of moments throughout the years. The last race there was mad. The one before that was really good. There's other moments that I'm definitely forgetting. But you get the picture, those are just the first two that came to mind. But now while we're on the topic of cash and circuits being able to afford an F1 race, let's talk one of everyone's favourite tracks that isn't on the calendar anymore, Sepang. It has been reported that the Malaysian Grand Prix organisers want to host a race again, but they cannot afford it. You know, because F1 is expensive as fuck. And it's a shame that's the case because I think many other people would love to see Sepang come back. It's a track that's seen so many amazing and memorable moments throughout its time in Formula 1. Multi-21 back in 2013, Checo's first podium and Alonso's surprise win in that god-awful 2012 Ferrari in the year mentioned, 2012. Kimi Räikkönen being so sure the race wouldn't resume in 2009, he buggered off to get an ice cream after the race was red flagged due to weather. The unpredictable weather in general. Sebastian Vettel's first win for Ferrari in 2015. This rather strange collision between Vettel and Stroll at the last race there in 2017 after the checkered flag had already fallen, and many more moments I've definitely missed. Okay, there is one not so good moment if you're a Hamilton fan, but my point remains. Many people would love to see Sepang come back, and I am one of them. And finally, on track news, rumor has it that the track in Vietnam that F1 was meant to race at for the first time in 2020 that never did, because of the pandemic, then it just never happened, that track could reportedly return, or well, debut. At the end of the day, you can understand why they will be wanting to try and get onto the calendar for the first time, and actually get onto the calendar and make it happen, rather. The track is there. It's just not really being used. Now, I don't know how much truth there is to this one, but either way, I'm kind of on the fence about it. It's difficult to judge on how good the track would be for F1, given that we never saw F1 race there in real life. We only ever had it on the F1 2020 game, and, well, if you ask me, it was one of the worst tracks on that game, but maybe I'm just thinking that because I was crap at that track. But anyway, with all that news in mind, in addition to all the tracks that are currently on the calendar, and China, which is hopefully gonna come back next year, F1 has a lot of interest, and Stefano Domenicali has said that there could be as many as 30 or 32 races on the calendar because of the high interest from various countries in hosting a race. On the one hand, it's great to see F1 being of such high interest all around the world, but on the other hand, we already have, I think, too many races on the calendar. Expanding the calendar more would just not be a good thing, and I'm mainly thinking here from a perspective of the drivers, the teams, and everyone involved in making these race weekends happen. We have to remember, these are real people. Many of them will have lives and families or whatever back home, wherever they live in the world. And the more races you have on the calendar, the more they're away from that, and the higher chances are of people getting burnt out mid-season, which, that's not exactly a very good thing for the teams in terms of results. Or, well, in terms of getting results. Not to mention, I don't know how much all of us fans would want upwards of 30 Grand Prix a year. I wouldn't. Anyways, personally, I think somewhere around about 20 is a sweet spot. 20 races, that's the sweet spot for me. So if around 20 is the sweet spot, but we have all this interest from countries in hosting a race, what does F1 do? Well, for starters, Qatar and Miami can go straight in the bin, and in fact, if Vegas bangs, then I say we dump Abu Dhabi as well and make Vegas the new final race of the season. And no, I'm not saying bin Vegas as well, because we don't know how the racing will be there. We've never been there. You can't really say, oh, we shouldn't go there, the racing will be crap when we haven't raced there yet. But from there, rotate races. It is a very simple concept. It might take some working out on which tracks can rotate year in, year out, and what tracks stay on the calendar every year, what tracks will be happy to rotate year in, year out. But it's a concept that could work and would solve the problem of having more countries interested in hosting an F1 race than there are slots on the calendar. But as ever, what do you think? What's the ideal amount of races in a season for you? And what do you think of all the news and rumors about Malaysia, Hockenheim, Vietnam, South Africa, and Spa? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.